Are you wondering how we can turn this all the way into this?
The first thing we want to do is start by removing the drawers from the frame. This is going to allow us enough access to the holes on the sides to mount the brackets for the wings that are pictured here. With the Prado 120 and most likely a lot of the other SUVs, off-roaders, things that we've got going around, if it's like a Ford Everest or even the 300 series Land Cruisers that were in the shop, you really have to trim down the brackets, which is a bit of a pain in the ass, but oh well. If you're a ute driver, you really won't have to worry about this, but us wagon drivers will. Don't forget to file them down and give them a little spray to tidy up the edges if that's your fancy. For me, the file is good enough to stop me from puncturing an artery when I inevitably shove my hand halfway back into the drawers.
So they're all easy.
Yeah, so they've all got the what's it called? Loctite, Nylock nuts. You go wash at each side, like that, with the brackets in between. And then there's fourth in each bracket. Pretty sturdy. Let's get that done.
We're gonna have to reach all the way in. There we go.
After loosely connecting the brackets, we're able to determine the size of the wooden cutout that we're gonna need. For us, we used CAD to figure this out, cardboard aided design. This is a time where you really have to make the time to get it right. If you're smart like me, you would have kept the boxes that the wing kits came with and then used that as your template.
Along the back here, tiny little bit more, so that's flush. But otherwise, this template is looking pretty good.
So,
mark it out.
I'd recommend either using a Stanley knife or a sharp scissors for this bit and go really slow. You can take material off, but you can't put it back on. This probably took me about an hour and a half to do all of the pieces, the left, the right, and the two front fascia panels. And if we take the time now, it's going to look so much better than what it will look like if we just sort of wing it and just call it a day. For the pointy end of the stick, the cutting. So we've got our lovely cardboard cutout over the top of the supplied plywood that comes in the packaging, and we're going to trace that all out. Once again, when you're cutting, go slow, take your time, get it right. Alright, so we've got the cutout done, the template out of the cardboard. So now we're going to trace this out over the top of our bit of ply that we've got from Adventure Kings. And then yeah, cut it out, fit it up to the car before we carpet it, get the sizing right, do it again if it's not. What do you think, Stu?
Got room to play?
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Let's trace it out. This is a case of repeated trial and error, but we didn't go like a really aggressive cut on the first try. We had maybe 5 or 6 different attempts at each piece, so we could make sure that we're going to get that really nice, snug, factory-looking finish on the back of the car. And as well, if you take the time and get a really nice snug finish, you're not going to have to worry about as much dust, debris, and items falling in the back of the four-wheel drive when you're driving around. Because if there's little cracks for things to fall in, it can be an absolute pain in the ass to try and clean them out.
Beautiful. I reckon we need to take a little bit more off. A couple mil, and then we'll give it a sand as well to take a little bit more of this edge, but not enough to saw it.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
So we've got a little bit of interference just there. Tiniest bit there, but we can just sand that down and call it a day. And then we're going to cut that there in half anyway for the flat. Sorted.
Room to play. That's beautiful.
Well done, Stewie.
So you know the saying, measure twice, cut once? Measure once, cut 5, 6 times.
For some people.
Fix it with the carpet. So it looks like it took a little bit of time to get all the pieces cut out, but now we've got them dry fit, without installing the carpet to make sure we've got enough room, and it gives us an idea of how level it's going to be with the back seats and also the side panels of the Prado. The next part of the job is the sticky part. We have to give them a quick sand so we can get rid of all those chipped edges that we got while cutting, and then give them a spray so we can touch the carpet.
3. Alright, so I've got our pieces, thank you to Stewie, cut and ready for the carpet to go on. They've all got their holes pre-drilled to be drilled into the brackets. I've got the other 3 pieces over here that have been sanded down as well, just to take off that really rough sort of plywood chipping edge on it, so it's a bit smoother for carpet. And then adhesive carpet, cut the holes for the tops, and do up the bolts. Sorted.
If you haven't done any carpeting before, I strongly recommend you to get a good set of G-clamps. Doesn't actually have to be a good set, you just have to have a few of them. It'll save you so much time and you won't have to hold it down by yourself for a good 10 minutes. What you want to do is spray it exactly where you want it to go, hold it down, keep it nice and tight, really make sure you curve the edges over right, and the spray adhesive should do its job. Take your time, make a few slits in the carpet. It's just like wrapping a Christmas present. Alright, as you can see, we've got our corners cut on the carpet. Oh, it's hard to see because it's dark, but the little bits cut out so it's not overlaying too much when we stick it over here. Yeah, now we're gonna wrap that all up, carpet it, and then see how it fits up.
Alright, if you can see now, we are on the final stages of the drawer build. Now we're just finishing off carpeting, sticking it down and drilling in the final parts. Phone's about to go flat, so if I don't show the finished result tonight, that is why. So yep, see you in a sec. We have the panels carpeted and we're now drilling through to find the bolt holes, which will sit up if you want, and align with these bits here and here, so we can drill it in and make it look all nice and clean. We've done the back one back there, that's all screwed in. This one is just going to be free floating for the meantime, while we figure out which way I want the latch to go, or if I bother with the latch at all. Then we do the exact same for the other side in there and call it a day. So I guess we'll put this in. Look at that. Looks bloody factory. Panel in. Top one can just sit on there for now. That's the gap we've got going on pretty smooth. See what it looks like with the drawer in. That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Left side done.
We actually only did the brackets about halfway tight so we could still move them once we put the carpet top on. That was just so we could get it really nice and level and adjust it as much as we wanted when everything was all smooth and flush.
So if you've got a friend, you can definitely do this by not having to remove the top. I do know it is only about 10 or 12 little Allen keys at the top here that we can do, that we don't have to crawl in, but honestly, it's not too much effort to get in there with the friend on the outside holding it, and then you getting inside, just can't be bothered taking the top off, which has probably caused more work, but oh well.
At the end of the day, the Adventure Kings modular wing system is pretty easy to do if you haven't done anything like this before. Look, it took me probably about 5 hours all up, but I reckon a good hour and a half of that was really just making sure I got my cardboard cutouts right the first time. Once I'd got those cardboard cutouts dialed, the rest of it was smooth sailing. So as it was about, I reckon about 9 o'clock by the time I got this last panel done, I actually was a bit of an idiot. I rushed it and I stuck it on backwards so it doesn't exactly properly line up. And insult to injury, I ran out of adhesive on this last piece. So I'm just gonna have to live with an upside down panel, or I'll just have to buy some more adhesive and flip the carpet the right way around. Now, despite the lower quality of the King's drawers, I do have to say, adding these wing kits here just make the drawers feel so much more high quality, and it really gives you that factory sort of built-in look. A side note, the plywood is really thin, so if you're gonna have to have it on a ute and you're putting a lot of weight on top, I might actually just opt to get my own wing kit system with my own brackets if I had to have a lot more weight in here. It can support me to sleep on, but I wouldn't be putting much more than that on it. If you can see up the back here, I've actually given it enough room so the Prado 120 rear seats can still fold back into that third position, which I was hoping to get out of it. There's plenty of room back here. I might even be able to fit an inverter back here or even a slimline battery, but for now, I'm happy. Now seriously, if you do like this kind of content, please like, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you want to see, or also let me know if you've got any other tips and tricks to help me turn this thing into a proper bed platform. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.